Everything has been great though, Boo.
Yeah.
It's been a productive week, and it's good to see that we are in such order. I have a lot of that, to thank you with
What do you mean?
because you've been keeping our household, so
Oh
on point.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've
Oh
been
yeah.
handling that thing.
I've been. It does make my life easier when I have like everything just. And I used to hate that about like my childhood growing up. My mom used to always have things like everything had a place, everything was in order, and I used to hate that. But now that I'm at this big age, I'm like, I'm grateful for that. And we have so much going on. So when the household is straight and I'm taking care of my husband and my baby, like everything in my world is also great. So
You know what's so dope about that
what?
is because I heard listening to some a while back who knows
Who
what
knows?
it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about, like in marriage, it's not always necessarily about finding the person who's like yourself, but somebody who compliments you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those amazing things is that I knew that I needed some level of like structure and order and stuff like that in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think I ever actually got that myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the most amazing thing about it is I found someone, you know what I mean, who's all of that.
Yeah.
And it put a lot more clarity in my life. As far as like realizing, that I don't necessarily have to be the most structured and organized person in everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in a lot of things, my wife is able to keep a lot of stuff off of my plate with her structure and order in areas that I'm not that way. So like knowing that I have you to compliment me in those ways and the fact that you take those things on, with love and care, it's so helpful. It's so helpful.
That's good to know.
Yeah, because Lord knows, man, like I know like the days when I'm not working and I see you and how you're functioning around the house, I was like, bruh.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Like I'm good on that.
I swear, like maintaining a household is like a full-time job.
It is.
It really is because there's always something to do. Literally.
And it's all the things I don't want to do.
Listen, it's all the things I don't want to do either, but I don't want no crazy looking house either. So
that's real.
Yeah. And I don't want my husband and baby starving. And when y'all come home, where's food? I'm hungry. Okay. The food is on the counter. It's right there. You gonna eat, So yeah, taking care. I love taking care of my household though, because I love y'all so much.
Oh, baby.
I love y'all like crazy.
We love you.
I know.
Yeah, and I always want to make sure that you know that you're appreciated for all of that and that it doesn't go, unnoticed. Because the reason that we're able to do all the things that we do is because of you, and we don't always have to spend all day Saturday and Sunday, cleaning up and reorganizing and all of this other crap or whatever because you keep things running, at the level that you do. Though I will say, as things are getting ready to pick up for you, like in your training and things like that, for your competition.
5 weeks out.
Yeah. I am preparing myself mentally and emotionally, to be able to cover down and help where I need to so that way you could be more focused on doing the things that you need to do and not having to feel the pressure of just being this machine around the house or whatever. It's like, all right, hey, mom she about to lock in for a season, and that's okay. Supporting you now needs to look like covering down in some of those areas where you won't have as much energy as maybe you did before. Yeah. Or maybe, your mind and your thoughts aren't as focused on all the other things as they used to be and being like, all right, we can pick up in some of these other areas to help you get to this goal and get that part done. And then we can reorganize after the fact.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm very hopeful that these next 5 weeks are not going to be chaotic. I feel like I'm going to be straight.
I'm sure
I really feel like that, but who knows? But in my mind, I just think I'm going to be all right. I think I'll be able to handle everything that's going to come with it.
I mean, ultimately, of course you are.
Yeah.
So what have your thoughts and feelings been towards, getting ready to go into this what do you want to call this? This more intense portion of that prep being 5 weeks out? 5 weeks out.
I feel nervous, but I feel capable. I feel capable of doing this. I think the thing I'm most nervous about is the fact that, like, you know, I have to like pose in heels and things like that. So I've been working on that a lot. But as far as like the nutrition and the workouts, that's the easy part for me because I love that stuff. Like I love that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm more excited than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel nervous, but I'm more excited because this is something I've been hoping to do. Like when I first started getting into fitness, I was like, dang, like that's something I would like to do, but I never thought I would be capable of doing it. So for me to now be at a point to where I'm 5 weeks out from stepping on a stage that I thought I would never be able to step on is like, I'm still in shock, low key. Yeah. Cause it's like, I had to overcome so many limiting beliefs, thinking that my body couldn't do certain things, thinking that my genetics suck, thinking that, well, ain't nobody in my family been able to do this. Like I'm the first person in my family to take my health so seriously. Thinking all of these things and like, how dare me want to be able to step on the stage? Like you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So
look at you.
Overcoming those thoughts and being at this point to where it's like, no, you're about to really step on this stage. Like you're ready. You know what I mean? It's just like, ooh.
I think you're going to do so much better than you probably even can imagine,
you
honestly.
Think so?
I just,
we're gonna see.
I just know that you're capable of so much. And then like I was telling you before, you know, when we went walking, it's like, man, ain't nowhere in the world some of these other chicks out there, you know, who are doing it got something that my baby ain't got. So I refuse to believe that this would be something that you couldn't crush in a way that far exceeds whatever you may think of yourself right now. So I already know, man, you're going to shut it down.
Yeah, I think something I told you like maybe a couple weeks ago, like I know this type of competition, it is about the girl that's standing beside me. Like I'm very aware of that. But for me, that I don't give a crap about that. I care about the person that's inside of me. The old me that keeps trying to show her head and tell me that I can't do this. Like that's what I care about. Me stepping on the stage has nothing to do, like, yes, I'm going to be judged. I understand that. But it has nothing to do with the judges and it has nothing to do with the girls that's standing next to me. It has everything to do with me and the things that I've overcome to get to this point.
Right.
So yeah, like it's like, yeah, I can see them. They're there, but they are not my focus. Like I'm my focus. I need to step on that stage for me and show myself that I can do this and show the girls who have been watching me this whole time that they can do it too. Naturally, you can do this.
It's like when we were talking before and I was telling you, you know, when it comes to this competition, like getting on the stage is one thing, but you being able to conquer yourself and your mind and be able to create a completely new idea of who you are personally.
Yes.
And be able to carry that with you beyond the stage. Like that's the real goal. Because if it stops at the stage, then it's like, okay, well, after that moment's over, then what?
Exactly.
And you're so much bigger than that one moment. So it's like now you're going for becoming this new version of yourself, you know, this higher version of yourself, showing that you can show up for yourself in this way and accomplish all of these things or whatever the case. And being able to keep that mindset and that mentality with you beyond the stage.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just being another stepping stone in the journey of you becoming everything that you desire to be for yourself.
Right.
So it's so much bigger than that. And I'm so glad that you got to this point of being able to see that. Because I know that that's going to be the real game changer.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, how I feel about me is what matters the most. Like, and that's just really what it is. I think too many people are focused on how other people see them and how they're perceived and stuff like that. And I was like that too. Like when we first started the show, I was like that. I was super careful with my words. I was like self-conscious about how I look. It's like everything. And now I'm like, this is me. Like I'm here. You can leave, but I'm here. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I refuse to let anything and anybody take me from this place of confidence, of like sureness in who I am. I refuse to do that. And something I was actually telling my coach, like if I ever got to a point to where I felt like this sport was turning me into something that I felt like wasn't me, I would quit. Cause I don't care about that aspect of it enough. I don't care about being judged enough for that. I care about how I judge myself and how I view myself. So if this sport is gonna change how I feel about me in the best way, then I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just what it is.
Because at the end of the day, you got to be okay with you. You got to be happy with who you are as a person.
Exactly.
Like, who cares about, quite literally 7 seconds in front of, some people who ain't going to be thinking about you the next day.
Exactly.
But you are the one in your own skin who got to be happy with yourself for all of the days, weeks, and years to follow.
Exactly.
And so it's about having that personal goal of being able to do something that makes you happy and fulfilled for yourself that nobody else can take away from you and that only you can give you.
Yeah.
So yeah, babe, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, baby.
Because I know that I've had, the glorious opportunity of being able to see quite literally all of these transformations in your mind as you've been on this journey. And I'm glad that I've had the chance, to be able to talk you through some of these thoughts.
I appreciate that too. You definitely keep me from going all the way left.
Sane.
Like, yeah.
Sane.
You keep me sane.
Yeah, sane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you be losing it sometimes. So sane is a good word.
Anyway, I mean, hey, I've been getting a lot better with handling it on my own though lately.
I agree.
Like when my thoughts started to go this way, I was like, okay, let me check the validity of these thoughts. Like, does this make sense? Like, no, it doesn't make sense. You sound crazy. Like, why are you talking to yourself like that? Don't be a weirdo.
Yeah.
And then I bring it back in. And then I still talk to you about the crazy thoughts that I had. And you be like, good job, babe. Thank you. Like, you did a good job at bringing yourself back in. It didn't take that long for you to come back to the sane thoughts, So good job. I'm like, yes.
Sometimes
I'm growing.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just got to work through our thoughts and feelings and at least just get them out of our head.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes that's all it is. It's like, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but let me just get it out of my head.
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
You know what's dope? So in my community, I had them do a challenge, where we were defining words like love, respect, commitment, support, things like that. And this brings me to one of those words, support. And in doing so, what I had them do was like, hey, define all of these words for yourself. Define the word for yourself and then speak with your spouse, talk to your wife about it and then see how they define those words and what those words mean to them in action and seeing if there's any difference in the words and what they mean to each other. Because, a lot of the times we can be having conversations using words that we both seemingly know the meaning of, but they mean something completely different to the both of us.
Yeah.
And so I figured that would be like a good exercise, to have them do.
Yeah.
And for one, I already know it's powerful. But this whole situation with your competition and stuff, it reminds me of that because now it's like, okay, well, this is a season or a period that my wife is about to go through. And she needs a different type of support compared to other seasons of her life where she's needed another type of support.
Right.
So now it's like the definition has to change.
Yeah.
Let's get clarity on what support looks like now in this particular season and what she's going to need in order for that to be clearly defined in action so that way we can show up and be able to give you that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's so valuable and amazing, that we get to do things like that because I can imagine that there's a lot of people sometimes that may not think of that. It's like, hey, something's changing right now and your spouse is going to need some type of support, but let's be clear on what that support is going to look like in this thing and how it's going to look in action so that way we can show up to be able to be there for them and prepare for the variables or the challenges that might come along and proactively be prepared for those things because It's not always cut and dry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, also be prepared to pivot
Mm-hmm.
because we can say, "Hey, let's plan. We're gonna plan this. This is how I want you to support me." But when we in that thing, and I'm acting crazy, say that we're 2 weeks out, and my emotions are all over the place. I might need a different version of you then too. Like my support might be different then. Also, like we planned for the 5 weeks to look like this, but we got to pivot this way because this is how things are going now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's dope about us too, is because we don't mind adjusting for each other because we care so much and we want to support each other in whatever we got going on.
Yeah, and sometimes, like you said, those adjustments have to happen on the spot.
On the spot, yes.
And that's why it's so important, like we've always said, to keep each other included.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of what the goal is, like, how can I show up for you in this particular moment to be able to give you whatever it is that you need as you're doing whatever.
Right.
No matter if it's something that we're doing, together or if it's something we're doing individually. But always being able to make sure that we prioritize serving and supporting one another and being there as intentionally as possible. So that way, as we grow through whatever this moment is, we can really quite literally look back and be like, I'm glad I had you through this moment. And thank you for showing up for me the way that I needed. Thank you for seeing my blind spots or the things that I didn't see coming, but being in position, prepared to help me when I needed it or give me something, that I didn't even know that I needed. And it could be as simple as a conversation and a change in perspective like you talked about before. And I think as small as those things may seem, they're so big and they make such a huge impact on the dynamic of the relationship and also being able to show your partner like, hey, you matter to me.
I think what's so dope in what you just said is showing appreciation for the attempt to try to support, even if it doesn't look exactly right all the time. Just appreciating that your husband or wife is trying to support you in the best way that they can, and they're just trying to show up for you. And I think like a lot of people forget that part.
Yeah,
it's like, I want you to show up for me and support me in this. It's like, okay, well, can you be grateful? Can I get a thank you? You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's dope about us too. It's like, we support each other, but we also show a lot of appreciation and gratitude for each other for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like we do so much, to try to take some of the pressure off of one another. But then also, like, even in doing that, letting you know, like, hey, I'm grateful for you doing that. And like I definitely try my best to make sure that I'm always reminding you of how grateful I am for you because I never want you to forget it. Like it's like, I know you know it, but no, I need to tell you.
Absolutely.
Like you need to hear it actually come from me. Like, baby, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like I saw this thing you did. Thank you for that. Like, hey, you know what? I was my mind was off this day. I was thinking this way or whatever, and you really brought me back down. Like thank you for that.
Yeah.
And letting them know, like, I see you. And I appreciate you stepping in those moments and doing whatever it is. Like, I have gratitude for who you are in my life.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that in every time, situation, opportunity, that comes about, because we have to reinforce the good behaviors.
Yes.
And let your partner know, like, hey, you know what? When you do these things, I thoroughly appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can continue to do these particular types of things or whatever. And again, it's not saying it got to be an all the time thing, but don't ever let it slide too far. Like, hey, I'm grateful. Like, thank you for you.
Right.
And all the things that you do. And I'm glad to know that we've proactively done that for, I would just say, a long time.
Forever.
Forever, ever?
Forever, ever.
Yeah, baby. But I'm looking forward, to being there with you, as you're getting ready to start this harder part of your training and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, babe. If you turn into a little She-Hulk,
She-Hulk.
and I ain't even talking about strength wise, because you got that now, but attitude wise, I'm gonna just let you know now. Like, I give you your kisses when I get home in the mornings. And if the conversation's gotta be minimal, I'm cool with that.
I don't
You
think I'm gonna
know,
be that bad.
I don't think so either, honestly.
I
But
don't think so.
what I'm saying though is I'm prepared to pivot and act a little different if I need to, because I know that, and you obsessed with me. I know
I'm
you
very
only gonna
much
be
so
able
obsessed
to
with you.
you're not gonna be able to just, you know, be in your own little bubble away from me. Because I
Right.
know you, babe. Even when you out of it, like even like now, you gotta touch me. You gotta be close.
Cause I like you.
But nah, I got you back. We got you back. And so we gonna make sure that you get through this thing in the best way possible.
Yeah. I'm excited to see who I become in these next 5 weeks. The progress that I make and into the stage. And who I become as I step off the stage once that moment is over. Like, now what?
Yeah, because what day is your competition?
It's June 1st.
Yeah, what day of the week is that?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Mhm.
I'm interested and curious to see who Adoria is gonna be that Monday.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who
Yeah.
am I gonna be? Like
That Monday.
once it's like actually over and the high of the competition is done.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I gonna be after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm definitely curious to see what the conversation is like, you know, the Sunday when we record after that.
yeah.
And seeing like, let me see what her mindset is now. Like, how are you looking at yourself? How are you looking at what you're capable of and whatever? How important is it to you to continue this thing? Like, what did you learn in you getting on the stage and getting off, whatever? Like, just
That's
I'm
something
curious.
I'm actually curious about is like, am I gonna want to compete again after this one competition? Or is that gonna be like it for me? Like, am I gonna be like, okay, this was cool. I'm good? Because I still plan to compete in September also. But I just wonder how, I don't know. I'm just ready to be there already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I got a lot of questions for myself 5 weeks from now.
Like, hey, me.
Hey, future me.
What you got going on? So
I actually might write myself a letter.
why not?
I might write myself a letter. I think I'm gonna do that.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, future me. This is old me.
Yeah.
Thinking about you. Got questions.
For real. Yeah.
Like, ask your questions to the future you and then wait a month and some change. And then when you get done, be like, here's the answer to that. This is what I'm thinking about now in hindsight.
Yeah.
You know what? And then when you do it, write how you're feeling now. Ask some questions.
See, you trying to don't tell me how to do what I want to do with what I want to do. See, this is my idea.
It is.
I'm gonna write a letter to myself to the 5 weeks from now me and ask myself questions for me to answer. Thank you. Don't try to take my idea. You have your own idea.
I was about to throw some stuff on it.
You did.
Yeah. So here's what you do right. I'm just playing.
I know you are.
Baby, I'm proud of you. And I'm looking forward to all of the dope things to come.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna do amazing, Boop.
Thank you.
And like I said before, I'm so glad that we get the opportunity to show up for you as you're doing something, you know, that I know means a lot to you. So do the damn thing, Boop.
And will.
I already know it. Hey, family. That's where we at with it today. I hope y'all enjoyed, you know, this super random conversation.
Very much so.
Yeah, but you know, that's how it is sometimes. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please do, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on all of your favorite podcasting platforms, YouTube, all of the good things, man. Y'all know where we at. My name is John Trone. This is my beautiful queen.
Adoria.
We are one dope couple. And until next time, family, peace and love.